You open your eyes. The screen lights up. It's 7 a.m. Before your brain even remembers your own name, you are scrolling. And there it is. A 22-year-old kid, smiling perfectly, standing next to a matte black Mercedes G-Wagon. The caption? Hard work pays off. What's your excuse? You look at your ceiling. You look out the window at your normal, average car, and the thought hits you. Heavy, cold, suffocating. I am out of time. I missed the boat. I am officially left behind. Welcome to the club. Take a seat. You are experiencing the modern plague, the crushing anxiety that your life is a ticking stopwatch, and the alarm has already gone off. Society has handed you a script. By 22, get the degree. By 25, the six-figure hustle. By 30, a house, a perfect jawline, and a crypto portfolio that makes Warren Buffett look like an amateur. If you are 26 or 35 and still figuring out how to do your taxes without having a minor breakdown, you feel like a failure. But let's strip away the bullshit. Let's look at the raw biological mechanics of your brain. Your brain was not built for Instagram. For 200,000 years, your ancestors lived in tribes of maybe 50 people. If you were the third best hunter in your village of 50, you felt great. You had status. You got the girl. You were winning. Today, your phone forces your primitive monkey brain to compete with the top 0.01% of the entire human species. 8 billion people. You aren't comparing yourself to your neighbor anymore. You are comparing your messy, unedited, exhausting behind the scenes to someone else's heavily filtered, meticulously directed highlight reel. Let's talk about that 22-year-old in the Mercedes. What the algorithm doesn't show you is the shadow. It doesn't show you the 30% interest rate on that car loan. It doesn't show you the rich parents covering the rent while he grinds. It doesn't show you the rented studio, the fake watch, or the crippling anxiety that keeps him awake at 3 a.m. because he knows his entire digital empire is a fragile house of cards. You are losing sleep over a ghost, a highly optimized, algorithmically pushed ghost. We suffer from a cognitive glitch called survivorship bias. Social media is a graveyard, but you only ever see the survivors. For every one crypto bro who got lucky and bought the right digital coin, there are 10,000 guys who lost their life savings, destroyed their credit, and moved back in with their mothers. But nobody posts a TikTok about going bankrupt at 24. Nobody posts a cinematic slow-motion montage of eating instant ramen while crying over an Excel spreadsheet. You only see the winners. So your brain assumes that winning is the baseline, the standard, the normal. And if winning is normal, then your average, ordinary life feels like a tragedy. Listen to me. Being ordinary is not a failure. Driving a 10-year-old car is not a sin. It's transportation. It gets you from point A to point B without a $1,000 monthly payment hanging over your neck like a guillotine. You feel left behind because you are running a race you never signed up for, a race with no finish line. The moment you get the Mercedes, you will look at the guy in the Porsche. The moment you get the Porsche, you will look at the guy in the private jet. It never ends. The goalpost is attached to a sports car, and it's always speeding away. This is the first piece of the puzzle, understanding that the game is rigged. But knowing it's rigged isn't enough to stop the panic attacks. Because there is a deeper reason why you feel like your life is over. It's not just about the money. It's about the lie you've been sold about human potential and the myth of the peaking age. Let's talk about that myth. We live in a society that fetishizes youth and speed. We treat human life like a software sprint. Ship the product by 22, dominate the market by 30. If you haven't bought a portfolio of real estate before your knees start hurting, society tells you that you are obsolete, defective. But look at the actual architecture of this timeline. They ask you to choose your destiny at 18. Biologically, your prefrontal cortex, the exact part of your brain responsible for long-term planning, won't finish developing until you are 25. Society demands you lock in the next 60 years of your existence using half-baked hardware. It's a statistical guarantee of failure. And yet, because you open your phone and see a fraction of a percent getting lucky early, your brain enters a perpetual panic. You obsess over catching up. You obsess over that matte black Mercedes. You tell yourself a dangerous lie. If I just get that car, if I hit that salary bracket, I will finally exhale. I will be safe. In psychology, this trap is called the Arrival Fallacy. It is the stubborn illusion that reaching a specific external goal will bring permanent internal happiness. Let me tell you what happens when you get the car. For the first week, you feel like a god. Your brain floods with dopamine. You win the game. But then, week 2 arrives. The dopamine crashes. Your brain brutally adapts to the new baseline. The shiny new object is just metal and plastic. It gets dirty. And worst of all, the deep, hollow anxiety comes rushing back. The arrival fallacy ensures you are running on a treadmill. You got the Mercedes, but the guy you follow bought a Porsche. The goalpost is attached to a rocket ship, constantly accelerating away from you. Now, look at the people who actually caught the rocket ship. The prodigies. We envy them, but we don't see the psychological prison they are building. When you win the ultimate prize at 22, what do you do for the next 60 years? You spend every waking second defending your title. You live in pure terror of losing your relevance. Early success robs you of the philosophical framework required to handle it. They are trapped in a golden cage, managing a PR crisis called their own life, terrified that someone younger is coming to take their spot. And here you are, punishing yourself for taking the scenic route. Starting over at 30 or 40 is not a failure. It is the first time you are making a choice with a fully developed brain. The timeline is a trap. The peaking age is a lie. The destination is a mirage. So, you step off the track, you take a breath, and you look around at the deafening silence that follows the panic. But that silence is where the real danger lies. The moment you realize you don't have to be a millionaire by 30, you are hit with a terrifying void. For your entire life, the fear of being a loser was your fuel. It was toxic, but it made you move. When you kill that fear, the engine stops. For many, that sudden loss of momentum is unbearable. They relapse. They go right back to the timeline. They desperately try to put the chains back on because a slave with a strict schedule feels safer than a free man in an empty field. Do not put the chains back on. You need to replace the panic with weaponized patience. Weaponized patience is the cold understanding that real, unshakable competence takes an agonizingly long time to build, and that 99% of your peers will quit out of boredom long before they reach it. Look at the internet. Everyone is obsessed with performative growth. They start a dropshipping store and instantly put CEO in their bio before making a single dollar. They are doing things strictly to be seen doing them. They are playing the peacock game. The peacock has massive, incredibly expensive feathers. It demands the spotlight. But you know what else is true? It is slow. It is highly visible. And the moment a real predator enters the jungle, the peacock is the very first thing that gets eaten. Stop trying to be a peacock. In the real world, the ultimate evolutionary winner is the cockroach. I know, it is ugly. Nobody is writing a Forbes article about a 22-year-old cockroach, but the cockroach operates in the dark. It doesn't need validation. It adapts, eats whatever is available, and survives conditions that would instantly kill the peacock. When the nuclear bomb of an economic recession drops, the peacock is vaporized. The cockroach walks away. Your goal is not to be a shiny, visible target. Your goal is to become an unkillable cockroach. You build skills quietly. You save money quietly. You fail in the dark, where absolutely nobody can see you bleed. Competence is quiet. Incompetence is loud. The guy in the Mercedes is loud because his entire identity depends on you noticing him. He is fragile. If you take away his audience, he ceases to exist. If you take away your audience, absolutely nothing changes. You still wake up. You still drive your 10-year-old car to a job that pays the bills while plotting your next move in absolute secrecy. That makes you incredibly dangerous. A man who does not care about status cannot be manipulated by it. He cannot be rushed into making stupid, panic-driven mistakes. So, the next time the panic tries to creep back in because someone younger than you bought a house or posted a photo from a yacht, just smile. They are playing a hyper-competitive game on a shrinking board. They are sprinting toward a cliff, desperately hoping there is a bridge at the bottom. You have officially stepped off the board. You aren't falling behind. You are running on an empty track. There's no competition. It is just you. Keep your cap on. Keep your head down. Keep building in the dark. The spotlight is a trap, and you are finally out of its reach.